Gareth here from Heartfelt Horsemanship. Recently I've noticed a lot of people struggling with horses that are fine on an outride but play up, or people say they hate the arena. This to me is a serious problem, and it's not something that can just be ignored and say, well, I just don't do any work in the arena, I'm going to take them out on outride. Because what it says to me is that what you're seeing in the arena is the honest representation of your horse's level of training and level of relaxation and level of obedience. The reason I say that is out on an outride, most of the people that I've come across recently that talk about that, they're going out with other people, the horse is following a horse in front of them, and they're not getting interfered with much. So there's a far less micromanagement, but the horse is out going somewhere. And the problem with that is them following another horse, even if they're out on their own and they think, well, I'm just going somewhere interesting, and you've got some level of communication in place, that will fall apart when stimulus comes in that tips them past that point. And then you're going to see the same kind of behaviors that you see in your arena. So your horse is not safe when it comes to something jumping out of them, they spook, or they decide it's time to go home and they start napping home. So what I want to talk about today is how to make them feel more comfortable in the arena. Too many horses see the arena as a torture chamber of some kind, because we come in here to work and we've got this, got to get this done, and we have a whole list of objectives that we set out to do, and we don't consider the horse in that. So we're going to come in and we drill on each individual thing we're working on, and horses end up hating it. And very soon you have a horse reluctant to even come into the arena. Or in the other case that I'm having recently is a horse comes into the arena happily but fights and then wants to leave. So I'm going to go through, Jamie's working with a youngster, a 3-year-old, Sonny, and obviously he doesn't have a big bank of time in the arena, but I'm going to show what Jamie does to get them to enjoy the arena. We've obviously still got to work on the things we need to work on, otherwise the time in here is pointless. But the rest times and having them feel good in here is just as important as the tasks you want to ask them to do. That is what builds the relaxation and their enjoyment of the time, that gives us the opportunity to build the communication and relaxation. And then the repetitions in here is what ends up being our communication out on the trail. So enjoy the video, and please like and share our videos. If you've got any questions, email heartfeltkzn@gmail.com. Check out the other videos on our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, and like our page on Facebook. Thanks guys. Okay, so I'm going to ride and follow Jamie around as she works with Sonny. It's a nice warm-up for Cherokee here because he's just getting to plod around. I can direct him by legs, so Jamie's over there and I want to go there. Look, Mom, no hands. And steer him down there. Okay, so Jamie's coming to work on something. She gets close to the point she wants to work and is giving Sonny a release and a nice rub. Long dwell times when they do something right is going to be the thing that changes their perspective on the arena. This is where they get to get rewarded every time they do something right, rather than hop from one high pressure situation to the next. Okay, so look, there Jamie's getting up to the gate. She doesn't go straight for the gate. She's giving nice long rest, and Sonny's having a release because of that. You see the, I don't know if you guys saw the yawn there. There's again, he's having a release. And the length of time we give on these releases is pretty long. For those of you that think this is all about your horse's fitness in the arena, that is probably the reason why you are having a horse that hates coming in the arena. It's about mental fitness just as much as it is about physical fitness. It's better to build up that physical fitness slowly and have them have a good attitude about things than hate coming in here. So you see that Jamie got to a point where the rope, so she wants to teach Sunny to be able to open the rope gate. Just to be able to pick it up and rub it on him is the first phase of that. Now she's going to move on. He did well. He doesn't need to do it 10 times well and get it drilled, because then he doesn't learn what the right thing to do is.
And he doesn't have to do it like a show horse because he's a baby that's learning.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard that. Jamie said that he doesn't have to do it like a show horse. He's a 3-year-old. He's just learning the stuff. But even with a show horse, you would get it good, move on to the next thing and give them a rest. So there, Jamie's taken Sunny onto the bridge and is giving him a nice rest on the bridge, that it's an enjoyable place rather than something he gets kind of pummeled into. The one thing I actually got feedback from the judge when I submitted the Western Trail is more resting on the bridge, makes the horse rush the bridge a little less. So it's all about being thoughtful and considering your horse in it. Can you imagine if, in fact, solid recollections of physical education in school, where you get run through a bunch of drills and everybody hates PE. There's a few very sporty people that love the physical aspect of it, and I mean, I like the sport aspect of it. I don't love being chased around and screamed at for an hour. So that is what happens when people get into the arena. They sit and micromanage. There's one cue coming after the next, and it doesn't stop for an hour. Let's say someone works it a little shorter, even 30 minutes in here, the entire 30 minutes is spent being asked something and being, having pressure put on to get a result. This is not a place anyone would find enjoyable. Now, on that point of how long you work in an arena, horses can actually only work and absorb new information for about 15 minutes. So, but when they play with each other, if you watch foals playing out, they will play for hours on end without anything, and they're learning that entire time. But in the situation where we make it work, they can only go for about 15 minutes at a time. Now, that's not saying that we don't ever do the difficult work, but our entirety of that time needs to be 15 minutes. So if you're in, let's say you're doing a half an hour session, 15 minutes of it needs to be the work, 15 minutes of it needs to be relaxation and release and dwell time. I think Jamie wants to add something here.
Remember, horses can only work for a short amount of time, but if we keep it playful and precocious and inquisitive, horses can go for a lot longer. And even when you have really high athletic goals, if you don't take the time to make this space a friendly space, maybe a space that your horse looks forward to, your time in the arena is likely going to become miserable, and taking your misery from the arena to an outride is probably one of the most unsafe things you can do.
Thank you, Jamie. Another discussion point on that is, so let's say you already have a horse now. We've got students that say, well, my horse hates the arena. And I say, well, have you tried this, this, and this? And they say, yes, I tried that, and he still hates the arena. Now that horse has had, let's say, 2 to 3 years of having a terrible experience in the arena. You going in one day doing it differently, or 10 days doing it differently, you've got a long way to go to have them change their mind about the arena. And that's where we would do it on the ground. We would have them change their attitude to the arena through the groundwork. Remember, horses learn in as few as 3 repetitions, but to unlearn a learned behavior, once they've developed an attitude to that arena, you've got hundreds of repetitions to change their mind about it. If you give up after the 10th one and you go back to only riding on outrides, and your horse isn't safe. The very students that I'm talking about now every single one of them has had unpleasant experiences on their outrides where they said the horse is fine on an outride, but it hates the arena. And it's not so fine on the outride, it just looks fine 90% of the time. The other 10% of the time that people are getting hurt. So putting in the time to getting them to like the arena is the thing that's going to keep them safe on those outrides. And they'll go from being fine on an outride to being safe. This is where that whole perspective about the horse industry and horse-related activities being so dangerous comes to a change. Horses are not spooky and unpredictable. If we put in the time, we're going to get them to have a solid grounding and communication in place that we can be safe on an outride. So that horse showing you that it hates the arena and playing up in the arena, that's the truth. When you're out on an outride and everything is going swimmingly and all the stars align, you have a great outride. But when one little thing that comes up, it doesn't kind of suit the horse, you get into trouble. So please guys, don't neglect your arena work. Once the horse is doing well in an arena, absolutely, you can practice so much stuff on an outride. But if the stuff is not going well in an arena, taking it out on an outride is risky. You're upping your chance of danger. And this is where people start to have the bit discussion, oh, but the horse isn't safe out on an outride in a bit. That tells me the horse isn't safe in an arena in a halter. And people say, yeah, the horse just hates the arena. No, the horse has a negative opinion of the arena that needs to be fixed before you go on an outride, and no matter what device you're using on the head. I don't know if you guys saw there how Jamie is working. This is Sunny's first time working on the gate. So Jamie didn't go for all the way getting it closed. She dropped it and now is breaking it down into little pieces. Sunny has a long time before he ever has to do this in its entirety. So she's taking the time it takes to stay safe. Great guys. Hope you enjoyed today's video. We'll see you guys again tomorrow.